At 57 years old, Hugh Jackman doesn't just look strong, he is strong. While most men his age talk about slowing down, Hugh wakes up every morning with the same focus, energy, and discipline that built his legendary Wolverine physique. He's not chasing youth, he's mastering it. And what's even more impressive, his secret has nothing to do with genetics or celebrity privilege. It's a science-backed morning system that keeps his mind sharp, his body powerful, and his heart young. Today we're breaking down that exact morning routine, what Hugh Jackman really does every day, why it works, and how you can use the same habits to slow aging and unlock your peak self at any age. Stay with me until the end, not because one of Hugh's simplest habits might be the most underrated anti-aging tool of them all. Every day begins before the rest of the world wakes up, sometime around 5, sometimes 5:30. There's no alarm blaring, no phone in his hand, just quiet. Hugh steps outside, barefoot, coffee in hand, and takes a few deep breaths as the sun rises. He once said, "I like to see the sun rise. It reminds me that I'm alive and that I've got another day to do this right." That ritual, standing in the morning light, isn't just poetic, it's biological genius. When sunlight hits your eyes within the first half hour of waking, it signals your brain to release cortisol in a healthy rhythm. That's your natural energy system activating. It wakes up your metabolism, sharpens your focus, and resets your internal clock so you sleep better later that night. It's a complete hormonal reset triggered by nature itself. Scientists call this the cortisol awakening response, and it's one of the simplest, most effective ways to stabilize mood, energy, and immune function. Most people skip it. Hugh Jackman builds his day around it. Once he's centered, he writes a few lines in a notebook. Gratitude, reflection, not lists or goals, just thoughts. Psychologists call this cognitive offloading, the simple act of transferring what's in your mind onto paper to free up mental space. It's proven to lower anxiety and improve focus. By the time most people reach for their phones, Hugh Jackman has already grounded his mind, balanced his hormones, and set the tone for the day. When it comes to food, Hugh doesn't follow fads. He follows rhythm. His secret weapon, intermittent fasting. For years, he's used a 16 to 8 schedule, fasting for 16 hours and eating in an 8-hour window. He used this approach while training for the Wolverine, and it helped him build muscle while staying lean and agile. During fasting, the body enters a cellular repair mode called autophagy, a process that clears out old, damaged cells and replaces them with new, efficient ones. It's like a tune-up for your body every single morning. Studies published in the New England Journal of Medicine confirm that fasting improves insulin sensitivity, reduces inflammation, and activates longevity pathways like AMPK and sirtuins, the same mechanisms linked to longer life and slower aging. When he breaks his fast, Hugh keeps it clean. Eggs, salmon, greens, complex carbs like sweet potatoes and brown rice, and plenty of water. No processed foods, no sugar overload, and definitely no late night eating. This balance stabilizes blood sugar, fuels his workouts, and keeps his mind sharp. But more than anything, it gives him control. Control over when he eats. Control over how he feels. Because discipline, not intensity, is what fuels his longevity. Now let's talk about what made Hugh Jackman a legend, his training. The truth is, his workouts aren't designed for Hollywood looks. They're built for longevity. Hugh trains 5 days a week, focusing on compound movements, squats, deadlifts, pull-ups, presses, big, powerful exercises that recruit multiple muscle groups and challenge balance, coordination, and strength. He said many times, "The goal isn't to destroy your body, it's to wake it up." And that's the difference between training for youth and training for life. After age 40, the average man loses about 1% of muscle mass each year, and strength declines even faster. This process is called sarcopenia. Left unchecked, it leads to fatigue, joint pain, and slower metabolism. But resistance training flips that switch. It activates satellite cells, the stem cells that repair and grow muscle fibers, and increases bone density, stability, and energy production. Multiple studies show that regular strength training is the single most effective way to reverse biological aging. For Hugh, it's not about lifting the heaviest weights, it's about progression, patience, and perfect form. He combines his gym work with yoga, balance drills, and stretching. keeping flexibility high and injuries low. That combination, strength plus mobility, and is what gives him that Wolverine presence even now. Every movement is efficient, controlled, intentional. That's what keeps him in fighting shape, year after year. After training, Hugh Jackman does something most people would avoid at all costs. He steps into cold water, ice baths, cold plunges, even ocean dips. They're all part of his recovery ritual. It's uncomfortable, but the science is clear that short-term stress creates long-term resilience. Cold exposure triggers a flood of norepinephrine, a neurotransmitter that boosts focus, alertness, and mood. It also activates brown fat, a type of fat that burns energy to generate heat, improving metabolism and insulin control. In short, cold therapy teaches your body how to adapt, not panic. Researchers call this hormesis, small doses of stress that make the body stronger. It's the same biological principle as lifting weights or fasting. You expose yourself to controlled discomfort so your body learns to thrive under pressure. Hugh Jackman doesn't use cold therapy as punishment. He uses it to reset his nervous system. He said, "After a cold plunge, I feel like I can take on anything." And that's not just mental toughness, that's biology in motion. It's his way of reminding his mind and body that he's still adaptable, still alive, still capable. But if there's one part of Hugh Jackman's routine that ties it all together, it's his mindset. Because he knows that physical strength means nothing without mental stability. Every morning he practices gratitude. Not in a forced way, not in a grounded, deliberate way. He writes down 3 simple things he's thankful for. Family, health, the sunrise, that's it. He once said, "If I don't start my day grateful, it doesn't matter how good my workout is, I'll still be chasing something." Gratitude doesn't just feel good, it's scientifically powerful. Research from the University of California, Davis, shows that people who keep gratitude journals have lower inflammation, healthier heart function, and better sleep. Other studies show that gratitude reduces oxidative stress, literally slowing cellular aging at the DNA level. This daily practice keeps Hugh grounded in purpose. He's not training to look young, he's training to stay capable, to be present, to stay balanced. That's the real foundation of longevity. Purpose. People with a clear sense of purpose live, on average, 7 years longer than those without it. And for Hugh Jackman, purpose is woven into every part of his morning. He moves with intention. He eats with awareness. He trains for strength, not vanity. And he ends every morning knowing he's already won the day. So what really keeps Hugh Jackman in Wolverine shape at 57? It's not money or fame or some secret Hollywood routine. It's consistency. It's sunlight, strength, cold, and gratitude, repeated every day until they become instinct. He's living proof that aging doesn't have to mean decline. It can mean refinement. It can mean mastery. Every sunrise, Hugh Jackman gives his body a reason to stay young. Every workout, a reason to stay strong. Every moment of stillness, a reason to stay calm. And that's the real secret. He's not fighting age. He's cooperating with it. He's showing that when you respect your body, fuel it with purpose, and keep your habits aligned, time becomes your ally, not your enemy. So tomorrow morning when you wake up, remember this. You don't have to be Wolverine to rebuild your body. You just have to start your day like Hugh Jackman, grounded, disciplined, and grateful. Because your age doesn't decide your strength, your habits do. And if Hugh Jackman can stay in Wolverine shape at 57, maybe it's time you find your version of that strength too.